This is KCTV5 News at 10.
Coming up all new tonight at 10, we'll tell you where thieves are drilling their way inside gas tanks to steal gas. We'll tell you how to protect yourself.
And so many women are getting gel manicures. They're super shiny, chip-free, and long-lasting, but that beauty can come at a price.
Anywhere there's skin, you can get a skin cancer.
But there are ways to avoid that nail nightmare.
The fight against bullies goes high-tech for students in the Shawnee Mission School District.
But first, when we had several viewers calling us about something they saw on Facebook, we had to investigate.
The social media post has dog owners protecting their property and anyone driving a white van looking over their shoulder. KCTV5's Josh Marshall has the exclusive story.
If you live in the metro, you've likely seen the post. You may have even shared it. A message warning people about a dog snatcher in a white van. KCTV5 scoured social media searching for someone whose dog was taken by the white van and found nothing except for an unlikely victim. The justice system says Kyle Ballou is innocent until proven guilty. Instead, he says he was innocent until posted to Facebook.
Even if I prove it on Facebook, people, for some reason, they won't drop it.
KCTV5 followed Ballou's team of Kirby vacuum salespeople. They make money going door to door selling their service. It was his van that Facebookers shared thousands of times, claiming his company is stealing dogs.
Everywhere we go, people are scared of thinking that we're, dog stealers.
Ballou says that's not true, and his employees all have clean background checks. But the effect of a possible social media myth is cutting into business, and his workers are quitting.
We get pulled over, boom, all my new people are gone because they're scared of it. What's going on?
Today, it took 17 minutes before police cut off the Kirby van and confronted Ballou.
How's it going? What are you guys doing?
Ballou's ID and permit to sell in city limits were confirmed, and his team was let go. But if this keeps happening, Ballou says his business will have to relocate.
This is my career. I'm not going to quit because of a bunch of hearsay things that's going on that will hurt my business.
KCTV5 checked with area police departments about vans stealing dogs in the metro. Only 2 had official reports filed, but many of them have received calls asking about those Facebook posts. Josh Marshall, KCTV5 News.
New details on breaking news we brought you at 6. Police are looking for a woman driving a car that hit a boy on his bike at 44th and Montgall. The boy is okay. He didn't need to be taken to the hospital. Police say they pulled the car over during a traffic stop, but the car sped off, hitting the boy, and just kept on going. Officers are now looking for a black Nissan.
Thieves are drilling their way inside gas tanks in Johnson County. Instead of paying like normal people, they're lurking around to steal gas from vehicles parked at businesses in Lenexa, including vans designed for people with disabilities. Emily Rittman is live with the story that you will only see on KCTV5. Emily?
Well, Alan, most of the time when people use a tool like this, it's to fix a problem. But instead, thieves are creating a problem. They're not drilling into wood like this for a do-it-yourself project. Instead, they're drilling into gas tanks.
Anymore, it's as simple as it's not that difficult. On this car.
Don't worry. We aren't going to give a step-by-step tutorial on how to steal gas from a tank. We do want to warn our viewers, unfortunately, it's happening, and fast.
Can be into your gas tank within 10-15 seconds.
So far, thieves drilled or punctured their way into a company vehicle gas tank at Mary X-Ray near Quivira and 83rd Terrace. Hundreds of dollars worth of damage to swipe just 13 gallons of gas.
And especially since gas is now at $2.50 as opposed to when it was $4. Yeah, it's kind of one of those, felony for $50.
At nearby United Access at 79th and Bond Street, the company was fixing a damaged wheelchair lift on a customer's van. Thieves drained the customer's tank while it was parked near the business. The company replaced the damaged tank at no cost, but for most victims, the crime will add up.
Some gas tanks, parts-wise, couple $100, up to, high-end cars, $1,000, $1,500 for a gas tank. Labor-wise, same thing. You spend a couple $300 replacing on up to $1,000. Just really depends on how it's installed in the vehicle.
Unfortunately, if a thief wants to drill their way inside your tank, there's not very much you can do to protect it. Mechanics tell us the best thing to do is to park your vehicle inside a secure garage.
Police need your tips to catch the criminals. If you see suspicious people cruising through parking lots overnight, they could be after your gas.
Unfortunately, police have very little to go on. We looked through a lot of police reports, and there's only one suspect description, and it's really vague. It says that someone saw a white pickup truck with a trailer driving away from one of these businesses. When the business owner went out to look, they noticed that there was a puddle of gasoline on the ground, and then called and reported it to police. Reporting live, Emily Rittman, KCTV5 News.
Emily, thank you. A man ran out of a community college bathroom with a woman screaming at him, and people tackled him so police could make the arrest. This wild scene happened at Johnson County Community College yesterday afternoon. A woman says a man was trying to take pictures of her while she was using the restroom. She chased after him, yelling, and that's when construction workers jumped in, tackling the 39-year-old and waiting for police to get there. No charges have been filed yet, and they don't believe there are any other victims.
Bullying is a constant problem in schools, and with technology like iPads, well, bullies have yet another avenue to target classmates. But that technology is also part of the solution. Today we learned how the Shawnee Mission School District is trying to make reporting and tracking complaints easier. Apps and icons fill iPads. Take a closer look, though, at this one, the bully referral icon.
They simply push on that, and it immediately takes them to the location where they'll be able to fill out the report.
John Douglas says that part of the reporting process isn't drastically different. What is, though, is what happens after a report is filed.
The difference is we now have the opportunity to track all the actions that take place and to watch it in a data level.
For years, not a lot of record keeping happened. So if a child or their parent reported they were bullied, what happened after that report was filed often remained a mystery.
They just told me that I was worthless, to go die, that I was ugly and fat.
Bullying is something that's happening in all schools, like the case in Belton, where an anonymous classmate started harassing a 13-year-old girl.
He was punched in the face and picked up and body slammed and kicked after he had already been blacked out.
And who could forget 12-year-old Blake Kitchen of Liberty? Another student beat him up so badly, Blake's skull was fractured and his eardrum ruptured. In the Shawnee Mission District, senior Devin Dwayne used the old system when he was in middle school. He welcomes change.
It's reassuring that the situation will be taken care of.
And graphs like these will help track all reports.
It gives them the opportunity to come back and say, well, why is this junior high or middle school experiencing more of these incidents than this one?
The district believes the data will ultimately help them stop bullying, something that too many are dealing with today. And I'm told that new tool will be up and running by next Wednesday.
Well, it sounds like something out of an action movie, but a Missouri woman managed to rip off a sheriff's car and drive it into Kansas while in handcuffs. It started in Andrew County and ended near 635 and K5 Highway in KCK. Police say the woman was in the back of a sheriff's car being driven to Jackson County when she faked being sick. The deputy pulled over to check on her, and when he was grabbing a bag out of the trunk, she jumped in the front seat and took off. After crashing in a ditch in KCK, she ran up to a home barefoot.
Well, I didn't know what to think. I just jumped up and ran to the door and just said, get out of my house. You're not walking in my house without knocking on my door. That's what you didn't get a chance to drink it.
Police soon found the woman sitting on the homeowner's porch. We're checking to find out when she'll be charged for this latest crime.
We're following two developing stories right now. The number of dead in Nepal continues to grow tonight, but also the number of survivors pulled from the rubble. We're also watching what's happening in Baltimore, where a curfew is in effect. Here's a live look at Baltimore tonight. That curfew began 1 hour ago. As you can see, though, not many people are following it. Hundreds are still protesting the death of Freddie Gray. Earlier, we saw police firing pepper balls, like tear gas, trying to break up the crowds. Freddie Gray died from a spinal injury he got during an arrest. Violence broke out on Monday following his funeral. During all of the looting, the fires, the violence, a woman was caught on camera disciplining her 16-year-old son, hitting him repeatedly. She saw him on TV throwing rocks at police.
That's my only son, And at the end of the day, I don't want him to be a Freddie Gray.
Protesters say that they will continue to be in the streets through Saturday. Our live in-depth coverage continues now with KCTV5's Erica Talon. And Erica, you were at a meeting tonight where Kansas Cityans got to have an open conversation with police, and Baltimore was a big topic, right?
Well, that's exactly right, Ellen. We are live here at 27th and Van Brunt. This is a very busy intersection for police. Just take a look at this crime map here. All of this activity is just within the last 24 hours. Now, take a walk with me, spin around, and you'll see that the East Police Division is right up this hill. And they had a meeting today with community members to discuss how to keep violence and crime off the streets. While some East Side residents came to show their faith in police,
but I wanted to make sure that the police knew I supported them.
Others came to restore theirs. Last night's violent riots in Baltimore protesting police brutality sparked the most discussion. Many at the meeting asking, what if it happens here?
I just want to know where they're coming from, if they're ready for it.
Two others in the group had the same concerns.
What preparation is happening?
You know, when we had the riots up there on Prospect.
While police told them they are prepared to handle situations like the riots in Baltimore and Ferguson.
So we've always been prepared to deal with crowd control if we need to.
They refused to answer our questions about it, instead only talking on camera about how these forums stomp out violence and crime in communities that get involved.
We can't touch everybody from our aspect here at 27th Street. But what we can do is then use the spider web of getting to neighborhood leaders who can then contact all their constituents.
The assistant prosecuting attorney of Jackson County would talk about it, saying these meetings are a preventative step.
I don't have an answer on what can prevent it, but I can guarantee you that talking, communicating, and coming up with ideas together cannot hurt.
If anything should happen, people here say they trust the men and women in blue will do what's right.
It will work as long as everybody's on the same page.
And this was the third time they've had a meeting like this, and they had one at each of its patrol divisions in Kansas City tonight. Now, there will be more in the future, and to find out when, just go to KCTV5.com. Live in Kansas City, Erica Talon, KCTV5 News.
Erica, thank you. A news photographer with Kansas City roots found himself in the middle of the madness in Baltimore last night. Chris Asaph was injured covering the riots last night. He's a photographer for the Baltimore Sun. He says one man took a swing at him and tripped him, then says 6 people joined in kicking and punching him.
And a guy just took a swing at me, and I kind of blocked it, and I just took off towards the police, yelling, "Help, help, help." And the guy tripped me, and then that's when about 6 of them, according to the reporters, said, jumped me and were kicking me and hitting me. And then it was over.
Asaph had some bumps and bruises, but was back at work today.
New developments now in Nepal, where an earthquake has killed 4,700 people so far. There are fears, though, that number could soar to 10,000. A massive earthquake hit that country on Saturday. 3 days later, survivors are still being pulled from the rubble. Crews are using high-tech cameras to look for those who could still be alive. Some of the equipment used to pull survivors out of the rubble in Nepal is very similar to equipment the Olathe Fire Department uses. They're part of the Heart of America rescue team. One of the most important tools are airbags. They can lift 20 tons, 10 inches in the air. Also, an 8-foot-long search camera helps find and communicate with people trapped because time is of the essence.
We are really a team focused on getting that patient out and get them to the hospital, because they're not going to be able to, sustain themselves any time longer in that type of atmosphere.
Also handy, a seismic listening device that allows that team to track a person by the noise they're making. The Heart of America rescue team also has dogs to locate victims.
No love from Lyft when it comes to Kansas City. The ride-sharing company says it will not return to the metro. The city sued Lyft when it started operating in the city over regulations. Uber, Lyft, and the city all sat down for negotiations. Uber and Kansas City were able to work something out. Lyft released this statement saying, while we appreciate the hard work of the city council, the revised regulations still place unnecessarily burdensome requirements on individual drivers. As these rules make it nearly impossible for peer-to-peer transportation to thrive, we will not be relaunching our operations in Kansas City.
Who doesn't love a good manicure, right? The salon is packed right here. But some of the options that you have can come with a price tag that goes well beyond your wallet. KCTV5's Amy Anderson talked with local experts about the danger and how you can protect yourself in tonight's special assignment.
When it comes to nails, we'll do just about anything to keep them looking good longer.
I think it's one of the best inventions in recent years, in cosmetics anyway.
Enter gel nails. They are popular, they are strong, and they last.
It's basically the same as a manicure. It takes about the same amount of time. You do your cuticles, you paint them. You have a base coat, 2 coats of color, and 1 top coat.
Between each layer,
put your hand in here.
You cure it by putting your hands under these lights for 30 seconds. Voila, you're good to go for a good 2 weeks. Danica Tormelin of Mission says after she discovered gel manicures, she happily kicked those weekly manicures to the curb.
Now I pretty much do it every time on my fingers. As somebody with kids that, does dishes, I have dogs, I do yard work, they still look nice after you do all of that.
But the convenience could come at a price. Studies have found those UV lights can cause everything from premature aging to skin cancer on your hands. Is it the same thing as a tanning bed?
It's the same principle as a tanning bed. These are not regulated devices, and at this point, there's no consistent standard of how much light they do put out.
Dr. Daniel Aries is the director of dermatology at the University of Kansas Hospital. He says just because it's just your hands doesn't mean there's no risk.
Anywhere there's skin, you can get a skin cancer, and anywhere that skin gets a lot of ultraviolet light, particularly a burn, then that risk of skin cancer goes way up.
At Nail Perfection and Spa in Mission, they still use those UV lights for things like acrylics. But for their regular and gel manicures, they've switched over to LED lights, which the Skin Cancer Foundation says is safe. Mike Manicus says his customers have demanded it.
We've actually had people say if we didn't have the LEDs, they wouldn't come here. So it was a good thing that we addressed that a long time ago.
If you do go for a manicure that includes those UV lights, experts recommend you buy specially made gloves with the fingertips cut off to minimize the amount of skin that's exposed to those lights. Dr. Aries recommends even going a step further.
Even in that case, I'd still recommend a very strong sunscreen all the way around the edge of the nail, because people can get skin cancers right up to the edge of the fingernail.
The most common type of skin cancer linked to UV salon lights is squamous cell, which is the second most common skin cancer, affecting some 700,000 people in the U.S. every year. 2,500 people die from that type of cancer each year, so it is nothing to be taken lightly. So what's the safest type of manicure? Dr. Aries says a natural one.
In my opinion, and the opinion of most medical people, natural is always best. So, the same thing with sun tanning. Be happy with the color you're born with and stick with that. And with your nails, try to eat healthy, try to be healthy, but don't do too much to them.
Dr. Aries says it's also best to save gel manicures for special occasions rather than doing them constantly. He says if they're on all the time, it prevents oxygen from getting to your natural nails, which can make them thin and weak. Amy Anderson, KCTV5 News.
And if you're not sure what type of light your salon uses for curing and drying, just ask. You can also play it safe and just air dry your nails.
Well, if you put in odd hours, getting sleep is a job within itself.
Once you don't sleep, you are stressed out.
Wednesday morning, we're going on the job with a nurse on a grueling 12-hour overnight shift. Hear what she does to stay alert. Plus, the doctors give us an easy strategy to make sure you get a better night's sleep. Check out part 3 in our special series Wednesday on KCTV5 News this morning.
We've all been talking about this fantastic weather.
Yes.
I don't think you can beat it, can you?
No, this is perfect weather. It's a great stretch. I will tell you this weekend and next week, if you're making your plans, understand we're going to be in a summer-like pattern. A little warmth, humidity, and a daily chance for a shower or thunderstorm. So you got to enjoy this stretch of weather this week, because all bets are off next week.
Okay,
all right?
Will do.
There you go.
You've been instructed.
And you're going to see the 7-day forecast here in just a moment. Right now, clear skies, diagnostic imaging tower cam view, and there's the temperature, 64. Low humidity, no wind to speak of. If you were out into that sunset, I mean, it just doesn't get much better. This is Midwest living at its finest here. Life on Easy Street is what we have for you. Now, in the morning, it's the same old song and dance. This morning, if you start off with a jacket or a sweatshirt, flannel shirt, dress shirt, kids out to school with a light jacket, you're going to want to do that again tomorrow. We're going to drop back into the mid to the upper 40s, but you know, have no fear. I mean, there's another big warm-up coming here, so it's just a couple hours in the morning where it's refreshingly cool and crisp, 46 degrees, and I like to call it dress and layers kind of weather here. So you'll start with long sleeves, shed the coat at lunchtime, pick out your favorite restaurant to meet your colleagues out for a sandwich, 68 degrees. And in the afternoon, extremely nice, 73. We will have a few more clouds in our skies tomorrow, mixing with sunshine, but no rain in the forecast. Great weather, especially if you work construction or landscaping. You're outside. You don't have to worry about dodging showers or thunderstorms. Near 70 to the mid-70s from Chillicothe westbound into Atchison, Leavenworth, Olathe, 73 with Kansas City, 70 into Marshall, and 73 Clinton, Henry County to 74 Paola, Ottawa into Garnett. Now, here's a look at the next 2 days. There's your little sprinkle and rain chance out toward the Mississippi. So if you're heading eastbound on 70 into St. Louis, may run into a little sprinkler shower. Then it's mostly sunny on Thursday. And then Friday begins the transition day, especially late. Most of the day looks beautiful, but I do expect a band of clouds and sprinkles and showers to come in late. So it looks like maybe more towards the evening. There's a slight chance for a little sprinkler shower. Otherwise, I think we're looking good here. Big series against Detroit. They're at the K. First pitch for those two games at 7:10. Looking pretty good. 73 degrees there on Friday. Here's the weekend, and you see we do have that chance for a shower or thunderstorm and a big warm-up. 70s into the 80s, and then once we get there, that's the forecast for next week, a daily thunderstorm chance.
80s, not too bad. Thanks, Chris. Here's tonight's code word now for a chance to have KCTV5 and Commerce Bank help pay your rent or mortgage for a year. It's rate. Now go to KCTV5.com or to our Facebook page to enter for your chance to win.
What are people talking about tonight on the rant line? Baltimore.
I believe the people of Baltimore are rioting because of the fact that it's obvious that the police are trying to find some way to wiggle out of telling the truth, because there's no way to explain the fact that the incident that caused Freddie Gray's injury took about 1 hour's time or more to happen, and so far it's been over 336 hours, which breaks down to 56 hours per officer, and the police claim they're investigating. Why does it take over 336 hours to investigate an incident that only took 1 hour? And 56 hours per officer, I believe if they were to release some form of information to the public, then the public probably wouldn't be in such a riot mode.
Topher of Kansas City, Missouri, has been watching the coverage of the unrest in Baltimore, and he says it's left him with one big question.
What I want to know is, why are the protesters looting and burning buildings that probably or possibly are owned by black Americans? Those buildings probably employ black Americans. So why are these people targeting their own people and destroying their own towns?
All right, let's switch gears and go to an email from Robert, who writes that he's a little perplexed. So let me see if I understand this correctly. KCTV5 wants me to get up in the wee hours of the morning every day this week to start watching them at 4:30 a.m. so they can tell me why I'm not getting enough sleep. This is absolutely hilarious. I can't stop laughing. Who thinks up this stuff? That is funny. Thank you, Robert. Well, we don't expect all of our 10 o'clock viewers to bounce out of bed right at 4:30. We're just reminding you of our start time. And I invite you to join our morning team tomorrow as a nurse who works 12-hour shifts shares her sleep secrets and how it works to keep her alert. So we'll see you at 4:30 a.m. Call us with your rant. Dial 913-677-RANT or go to kctv5.com to send me an email.
Well, the Royals are making their case again about being one of the top teams in baseball. Just ask Cleveland. The key playing tonight's road win next in sports.
Closed captioning provided by St. Luke's, offering fast, expert stroke care because every minute of your life matters.
Shawnee Mission Health. Much more than medicine.
The Kansas City Star says new theater's hairspray blows me away. It's raucous, it's explosive, it's triumphant. It's this summer's must-see show. Hairspray at New Theater Restaurant.
True Blue, I'm feeling good. Everyone has a happy dance. Discover yours when you get a mortgage from Capital Federal. Whether it's your first home or an upgrade, you know your loan stays local, and you can meet your loan officer face to face. See why Cap Fed has been True Blue for over 120 years. I'm feeling good. Discover your happy dance with a mortgage from Capital Federal.
The Nissan Rogue. With blind spot warning, a round view monitor, and intuitive all-wheel drive. Choose Rogue with 0% APR financing, or save up to $750. Innovation that excites. Rogue, from the most fuel-efficient lineup in America. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Advanced design makes it easy to protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. Discover Seresto. With the performance you expect from topicals in a non-greasy collar, Seresto provides protection against fleas and ticks for 8 months. Its innovative delivery system offers all this for your dog or cat. And Seresto is easy to use, too. Seresto from Bayer, designed to perform for 8 months.
Warehouse pricing saved us $2,500.
The savings continue during the award season event at Landmark and Landmark South.
Landmark offered us more for our trade-in.
Buy any Ram truck right now and we'll throw in a bass boat and motor at no extra charge. Or buy a new Jeep Wrangler and drive away with a compact camper at no extra charge.
We love our new Jeep, and now we can go camping.
Don't miss the boat at Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram on Nolan Road and the all-new Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram South in Belton Raymore.
There's only one way to improve taco night. A practically spill-proof crust. Home bake a large Papa Murphy's Taco Grande with your choice of beef or chicken. Just $11. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
Now is the time to buy. Open nonstop for 32 hours straight. The original, the best, and now open 7 days a week.
Feel the power at Gale's Harley Davidson.
Now KCTV5 Sports with Michael Coleman.
Man, the Royals were smoking tonight, off to a fast start in their game. Cleveland would wear down Jeremy Guthrie, but the early KC offense would have his back. Like this guy, Alex Gordon, gets his start, a solo home run in the second inning. The Royals are up 1-0. And you want some defense? We got it for you. Alcides Escobar has a gold glove in his game. He leaps and robs Michael Brantley of a potential base hit. Let's watch that replay. Guthrie ducks as his shortstop makes the smooth play. Royals up 3-2. Cleveland takes a 5-3 lead. This man here, Henry Morales, leads the Royals with 6 runs in the 7th, a 3-run blast. Royals pull away. They had 2 more runs in the 9th, 11-5. They win. Season high 18 hits. Their bats are heating up, and they only lost 4 games on the road, 11-5 for the Royals. Well, Thursday, the Chiefs and the rest of the league aim to get better through the NFL draft. We'll have a crew in Chicago and a crew at the Chiefs draft party. The Chiefs could be in the market for a more defensive backs at all. They get 10 picks, 2 in the 3rd. That's where you really find impactful players. Now, Hussein Abdullah was asked if he'll watch the draft.
To be honest with you, I mean, there's some people who are at the facility, there's some people who are doing whatever they're doing, but the draft is the draft. It's kind of the lifeblood of the NFL, and we know it breeds competition, so everybody look forward to it.
Wrapping things up, the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, former MU Tiger Shane Ray, is automatically enrolled in the league's behavioral portion of Phase 1 of the NFL's substance abuse program. ESPN's Mark Dominic has told this by sources. Ray was cited for possession of marijuana yesterday morning and is now subject to random drug testing once he's in the league. And closer to home, Rams GM Les Snead says you don't take him off the board, you put what he calls a cautionary sticker on him. Back to the Royals. They're getting hot just in time because the Tigers are going to be strolling in. Last I saw, the Tigers were down by a run in the 9th, so if they lose, the Royals are in first place. So maybe before we say goodnight, we'll find out.
Wow, it's been a miraculous start for the Royals.
Oh, it's been fun. A lot of fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. We'll be right back.
Tickets for Less has the best Royal seats at the best price, including crown seats. Ticketsforless.com.
Welcome to Subway.
What can I make for you?
How about crunching into flavor with a Fritos chicken enchilada melt? Pulled chicken and enchilada sauce, melty Monterey cheddar, fresh veggies, and Fritos corn chips. Hurry in today.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Honda developed the world's most advanced light jet, the world's most advanced humanoid robot. And now we're introducing
Honda's Dream Garage Sales Event with great deals on almost everything Honda makes, like the CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year, and this powerful Honda.
The Honda Dream Garage Sales Event. Get a dream deal on a 2015 CR-V with standard rear-view camera. Now, at your Honda dealer.
Wow, introducing our brand new style of seamless polymer siding. It's the most natural looking, maintenance-free material ever manufactured. Our new cedar grain plank is so elegant, it looks like freshly painted wood without the costly maintenance. Be one of the first to display this new siding on your home, and you'll earn a huge discount. We'll finance with nothing down as little as $135 a month. Great display homes get greater savings. Call now.
In Springfield, Missouri, we believe the key to living a good life is simple. It's holding on to what's important. And more importantly, who? Visit Springfield, Missouri, and plan your next vacation at springfieldmo.org.
The 2015 Toyota Camry, designed and built for the bold. A sculpted body with muscular fenders adds to its commanding stance. Camry has an interior that thrills before you even start moving. Sit inside and you'll very quickly see and feel the difference.
Lease a new 2015 Camry for $189 a month. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, baby.
It all starts at Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome to Subway. What can I make for you?
How about crunching into flavor with a Fritos chicken enchilada melt? Pulled chicken and enchilada sauce, melty Monterey cheddar, fresh veggies, and Fritos corn chips. Hurry in today.
Subway. Eat fresh.
You know, I don't ask for a lot, but I would like a repeat of today.
You got it, sir.
Sweet.
We're going to have Mother Nature's going to give us an encore here tomorrow, and really Thursday, and most of Friday. Don't let that little 20% chance of a late-day shower scare you away Friday from that forecast, especially for the K. I mean, we need to be a raucous crowd out there the Tigers come to town. And then a weekend, you know, not a wash, but there will be a few thunderstorms there Saturday and Sunday. And look at those temperatures go, 70s and 80s. What you don't see there, too, is it's also muggy. It's getting pretty humid down the road.
Looks great for the big sports weekend. I'm sure the Royals will pull it off and beat the Tigers.
Not too bad. Huge series.
And, Michael, you said the Tigers lost tonight. So
First place Royals, folks.
Good night, everyone.